Hey, hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Charging Station Podcast. It's your girl, Tracey Massey of Living My Empowered Life. Welcome. If you are new here, welcome to the shenanigans. We are making room on the couchy couch for you to have a seat. Come on in, tap the hand sanitizer, take your shoes off, make yourself at home. If you are a returning watcher, listener, whatever, hey, boo, you know I love me some you. Welcome back. I need everybody to go ahead and follow me on the socials. You know what to do. Find me at Living My Empowered Life on TikTok, Threads, Facebook, YouTube. And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, my email list. Join my email list. And make sure that you are subscribing, sharing with your peeps, whatever your preferred listening platform podcasting is. If it asks you to subscribe. If it asks you to follow, whatever it's asking you to do, please do that. And make sure that you rate and review, leave 5 stars. Now go ahead and grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water, grab your wine, whatever your beverage of choice is. Go ahead and grab that thing, have a seat on the couch, because I'm about to tell you about my very first cruise. Yes, I went on a cruise. So my cousin had this idea that we're going to do family trips every other year. And the last family trip we did, we went to the mountains in Tennessee and had a grand time. Y'all, we had a time. That was a fun trip. It was maybe about 15 of us that were in this big old cabin and had a blast. So this year, we got together and did a cruise. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do the cruise when we had originally planned it because we had a whole panoramic view that was happening in between the time. But this year we got to do it. So shout out to my cousin Superdome BJ for getting us together for our first cruise. Now I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I love to travel. I am a travel girly, travel enthusiast. I don't get to travel as much as I want to, but I will get up out of here and get some stamps in my passport when I can. But I never really had the desire to go on a cruise, mainly because I like going to destinations and experiencing the culture, being able to kind of mull around. And I had this fear of being left by the ship. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I did not want to be a pier runner. Yeah, I'm working out and doing all that, but have you seen the piers of these ships? It's not fun to run. So I just had this fear about getting left. And then, I'm very much of an introvert. I like to be able to steal away. And, I would do an Irish exit in a heartbeat. And I just kind of felt like, okay, well, maybe a cruise is too much because there's too many people. There's people everywhere all the time. All the time. I'll do a crowd, but I don't like doing a crowd for a long period of time. So I was like, I don't really want to do a cruise. And then I was like, okay, well, if I do a cruise, then I'll go on Virgin because it's adults only. I ain't got to worry about nobody else's chaps. It's a different kind of clientele, blah, 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 blah. So I had all these preconceived notions. So when my cousin came up with the proposition to do a family cruise, which was, a little bit more economical for everybody, and we did a short cruise, 4 days to the Bahamas, I was like, I want to, but I don't. I want to, but I don't. And what persuaded me was the fact that I would get to spend time with my cousins. So it's rare that we are all in the same place at the same time. And even all of my cousins weren't able to attend. So the ones that were there, we had a blast. So let me just walk you through some of the things that I've learned. So if you are a first-time cruiser, this is for you. If you are not a first-time cruiser, still stick with me in this episode and be sure to reach out and share some of your tips about cruising or whatnot. So I'm just going to share some of the things that I learned on my first cruise and some of the things that I would do differently. And I will even share if I would do a cruise again. All right. So number one thing, I am very much of a planner. And we had a travel advisor with the cruise ship who, let's just say, as a planner, he didn't advise very wisely. I wrote a very nice email to the cruise line about him because I had to do my own changes, my own research and things like that. He was not very Accommodating is not the word. He did not communicate very well. So a lot of the things, when you're traveling, you have deadlines and things like that. If you want to make a change, so I had to change out a guest. So the guest that was supposed to be going with me was not going. So I had to switch out somebody. And I actually went on the website myself and did it. Because I asked the question when I first booked with the travel advisor, like, hey, if I have to switch out a guest, what do I need to do? And the only thing he said to me was, it can be done, but it'll be very expensive. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the cost? And he never did tell me. So I found out, and honestly, y'all, there was a cost, but very expensive. It didn't seem very expensive to me because clearly I did it. So there's that. I will say, do your own research. Even with you, when you having a travel advisor, they're human. They can get things wrong. All right. And this comes from somebody who has done travel before. In my past life, I was a travel advisor. I booked trips for people. So do your own research. And since this was my first cruise, that's exactly what I did. Like, I was all on the YouTube University. I was all on TikTok. I was everywhere researching, finding out the ports. Because, of course, when you book your cruise, you know where you're going. So we went out of Port Canaveral, and we did a 4-day Bahamas cruise. So we did Nassau, Bahamas, and Princess K's Island. So those are the 2 stops. And we had 1 day at sea. We're going to talk about that fun day at sea. All right. And I'm purposefully not saying the cruise line, but if you listen to what I say, you're going to know who the cruise line is. And I'm purposely not saying it because I don't want to get sued. But this is just an honest review. So what I did was I booked a hotel the night before. So I flew down the night before to Port Canaveral for a couple of reasons. One, I did not want to feel rushed trying to travel the day of. Anytime I'm doing something, whether it be an event, like if I'm going somewhere to speak, or if I'm going to a concert, a convention, or whatever, I'm flying out the day before. I would much rather be there and sitting than trying to rush to get to where I'm going, especially when you got connecting flights or you're trying to catch a ship. I'm there the day before. Some of my cousins, on the other hand, decided to come down the day of. And y'all, me being a planner, and they know how I am, me being a planner, that thing was bugging me. Because I was like, it's spring break. Anything can happen. Why are you doing this? But they made it in time. They made it in time, thank God. But child, they had me stressed. Okay. But I flew down the night before and booked a hotel, which was literally 10 minutes from the port. Some of my other cousins were across the street. Some of the cousins were at the same hotel. So the hotel where I stayed in Port Canaveral was very nice. One of the Hilton brands. Oh, sorry. Try not to say the names because they're not paying me. But it was a very nice hotel, and they had another hotel attached to it. So that must be something new. I had never seen that before. It's the same umbrella company, but it's 2 different hotels attached to each other. So some of the cousins were at the same spot that I was, which was great. My sister, who lives in Florida, sister number 1, came to pick me up from the airport in Orlando, and we just spent sister time. So we had dinner. She got to meet some of my cousins. Meet some of my cousins that night. And we just had sister time because, again, we're getting to know each other. So that was fun. She took myself and my cousin to the port the next morning, which was fun. I will say this. If you're cruising and your cruise line has an opportunity for you to get early access, so like pay for early access, get it. We got what was called faster to the fun on the cruise line that we were on. And I'm so glad that we did because we got priority boarding. We were able to get on the ship earlier than everybody. We were able to access our room, so drop our stuff off first. You're not allowed to go into your cabin until 1:30, but we're not allowed to stay in your cabin until 1:30, but we were able to access our cabin and drop our luggage off before that time. So we had to drop our stuff off and then leave. But being able to drop our stuff off was great because then we were able to explore the ship. We went straight to the Lido deck. No. Let me take that back. We did our muster station. So when you're cruising, you have to go by your muster station, just check in. It's a safety drill. So you know where your life vests are, where the lifeboats are in case anything happens. You go to your muster station, and that's where you report to if we have to evacuate the ship. That is a requirement. The ship will not leave until everyone does their muster station drill. So we did that, went to our room, dropped off our stuff, then went to the Lido deck and was like, okay, we are here. So definitely pay for the early access. And it also gets you early access to priority in line. So at guest services, you have your own line, because I did have to go to guest services a couple times. And anytime we're doing excursions, you get prior boarding for your excursions. When we went to Princess Cays, we had to do a water taxi because there's no dock there, no port there. So we had to take a water taxi from the ship to the actual island. So we got first dibs on that. So they gave us longer time on the island. Things like that. So you just get priority everything with Faster to the Fun. It was worth the money for me. So we were the first ones in our actual group to board the ship and just kind of hang out. So we were just kind of waiting on everybody to trickle in. Most of our boarding times was right around the same time, which was good. We did have a couple people that were later, but we just told everybody where we were and just waited for the sail away party. So we did have a little bit of time to explore the ship before everybody got on, which was nice because it wasn't crowded. So you can kind of get lost, which is what we did, and be able to sit and enjoy guys' burgers. I got ice cream, they started coming around and passing out drinks and things like that. So we were able to just kind of chill out. So day one was interesting. Once we were able to get into our rooms at 1:30, my cousin and I, we all dispersed and went to our rooms so we could unpack and kind of map out what we're going to do for that day. We all agreed to come back to the sail away party, which was happening we were supposed to set sail at 3:30. So the sail away party happened at 3:30, but we didn't sail away. I don't know why. We ended up leaving maybe an hour and a half past the time that we were supposed to leave. And from what I saw online, not pertaining to this particular cruise, but from what I saw online, when the ship leaves late like that from the send off, it's because somebody didn't do their muster drill. So whoever that was, the first week of April, going to the Bahamas out of Port Canaveral, and you didn't do your muster drill, you the reason why we was late, and you the reason why the captain was flying through the ocean to get us to our first destination. Do what you're supposed to do, people. So my honest review. First off, I did have a good time. My family is crazy. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to try to put in pictures and things like that. I'm going to try my editing bag. So bear with me. We're doing something new. If you're not on YouTube, I'm sorry, but this is where I would insert a picture. Maybe right here. My family and I had a good time. It was 22 of us. And I will say this, traveling with such a large party, y'all, it can be like wrangling cats. There was always a time when we were getting pictures done or something, and somebody would just scurry off. So it's like the same people that would scurry off. It's the same people that we were like, okay, where's this person? Oh, they went to go smoke, or oh, they went to the bathroom and then they missed a picture. So there's several pictures where we have certain people that aren't in there. So I say, when we do another trip like that, we're going to get walkie-talkies. Because here's the thing, when you're out to sea, your phone doesn't work. Okay? Your phone does not work. But mine worked because here's what I did. I called my cell phone company and I got the cruise package. So my phone would work at sea. And I also got the international package, which now my particular carrier has combined the two. So your carrier may have a cruise or international package that's one and the same. So I got the at sea package, excuse me, the cruise package, to where my phone would work at sea. So I can get online, I can do I can send emails, I can make phone calls, I can get into WhatsApp, because we were using WhatsApp, but if you don't have cell service, WhatsApp doesn't work. So I got that, and I also got the international package. So when we were at port, my phone worked. I was one of the few whose phones worked, which was a challenge with 22 people. And we're trying to figure out where we are, what we're doing, and blah, blah, blah. So get the cruise package if you can through your cell phone carrier. I did also get the internet package on the ship, which a lot of people say don't do. But I did that just in case my phone didn't work. Like I just wanted to have access to my phone. You know, being a content creator, I did not want to have an astronomical phone bill when I came back home. So I wanted to be covered in all bases. And this was actually the best option for me economically. And we did also get the app with the cruise ship. So a lot of the cruise ships have apps, but y'all, I'm gonna be real. That app on our cruise ship did not work until like the day before we were supposed to leave. Like that was the time we actually had it working. And it was like, what's the point now? But when it did work, we were able to do that. If you're going to travel with a large group, my cousin had this great idea before we set sail to put everyone's room cabin numbers in the WhatsApp. So you can go back into WhatsApp and we could call each other on the cruise ship phones, but that only worked if people were in their rooms. So make sure, you know, if you're with a large group or even a small group, you know which cabin you're in. We just happened to be all of us, except for maybe like 2 or 3 people, all of us were on the same deck, which was great. But again, we're leaving and entering at different times, so we're not always in our room. So it was kind of hard to keep up with people. Another thing that I would do would book my excursions early. Like I said, I'm such a planner, and there are a lot of things that I wanted to do that I did not get to do because I was trying to make sure that I was with the group. I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again because one thing about it is with such a large group, everyone has different interests and there are different adventure levels. So there were certain things that I wanted to do that people weren't interested in. There were certain things that my cousins wanted to do that I was not interested in. Like they wanted to go to the casino. Casino's not really my thing. So I was in karaoke or playing bingo or things like that. But I will book my excursions early and book them through the cruise ship. Yes, I know that the cruise ship can be more expensive than booking with an outside vendor, but the thing is, if you book with the cruise ship, if you book an excursion with your cruise line and your excursion gets back late, the ship will not leave you. If you book an excursion with an outside vendor and it is late, baby, you in trouble because that ship is not obligated to wait for you. Now, there are some caveats around that where you can find out the name and phone number of the port manager, I can't remember the name of this, but whoever's in charge of the port that you're in, if you find that name and number of that person and you call them and let them know, hey, my excursion is running late, sometimes they can have the ship wait on you, but I wouldn't guarantee that. Like, I wouldn't even try that. Because here's the thing, you get stuck in the Bahamas without your passport, clock it. You're going to be in some hot water because you cannot fly back to the United States of America without a passport. And that's going to be a whole nother expense. And if you get left by the ship, your travel expenses, you don't get refunded from your cruise. You got to pay for you to get your flight home. And most of the time, if you're out on an excursion, you're not, ready to travel. And then you got to pay to expedite an emergency passport, which is not cheap. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes it's just better to pay a little extra to make sure that you're safe and prepared. I would say get travel insurance. I highly recommend travel insurance whenever you travel. Whenever I take a flight, whenever I'm taking a cruise, whenever I'm traveling, I get travel insurance because you never know what's going to happen. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So get travel insurance. And right now, there are some travel companies who will give you really great deals on travel. You just have to, again, do your research and figure out which one works best for you and what's best for you financially. I'm actually thinking about getting, there's a travel insurance company now that will give you a yearly plan. So I pay a yearly, one-time yearly rate, or pay monthly, and I have travel insurance for wherever I go, anytime. And I think that's good for people who are on the go all the time. And one of my goals for 2025 was to travel more. So I'm looking into that. I'll let y'all know how that goes. So let's see. We're on the ship. We're kind of scurrying, blah, blah, blah. I will say I will take a cruise again. At first, I wasn't quite sure if I enjoyed myself. I did enjoy my family. A couple things that I did not enjoy. I did not like how everything just kind of shuts down at certain times. So you think that you're going to have food 24 hours a day. That's kind of true. And I guess it depends on what cruise line you're on. A lot of the places closed early. So like, for instance, for breakfast stopped. A lot of the breakfast buffets stopped at 10. Then you had some that were from 10:30 to 12, or you had a late brunch or a late breakfast. But most of the places stopped serving breakfast around 10:30. So I'm an early bird. So I would be up, like I still went to the gym and worked out and did things like that. So I would wait to have breakfast and be starving, waiting on my family. I ain't doing that no more. I love y'all family. If you're watching this, I am not waiting on y'all no more. Because I was hungry. I was hangry. But by 9, 10 o'clock, that's when everybody is up. Because then that's about the time, especially when you're on a port day, that's about the time when everybody is out. So the lines are ridiculous. So I would advise getting up early and going to have your breakfast. We did do Sunday brunch, where we reserved a spot in one of the dining rooms, and that brunch was delicious. So if you can reserve the brunch, I would do that. Make sure that you are reading the itinerary that they give you every morning, because it shows you what's going on the ship that day, what kind of excursions are available. It has important numbers, things like that. There's so much to do on the ship. We really did not get to see and experience everything. I think having a 4-day cruise for a first-time cruiser was great, because there was a certain time when I was like, get me off the ship. I'm ready to go home. And that was the fun day at sea. The fun day at sea was not fun for me, because I realized we're just sitting here. Like, we were literally sitting in the middle of the ocean, weren't moving. We were anchored just in the middle of the ocean. And I understand why the cruise did that, because that's how they make their money, because you can't go anywhere. Like, you're on the ship. You're going to be buying food. You're going to be buying drinks. You're going to be buying pictures, doing all that stuff. You're spending money. You're going to be in a casino. You're spending money on the ship. That's how they make their money back. But I felt like, okay, we could be heading back to Port Canaveral. Get me off this ship. I'm ready to go. So 4 days for me was fine. To see and experience everything that I wanted to see and experience, I'll probably do a 7-day cruise next time. I don't think I would do any more than 7. I can do 7 days on the island. I don't know if even 7 days on the island is a lot for me, because sometimes I'm just ready to come home. But yeah, for first time cruises, I would say do 4-day, 4 or 5 at the most, to get your footing and see if you like it. Also pack Dramamine, because I am not one that gets seasick, but I'm gonna tell you, I went to work out and I was on a treadmill, and the gym was at the front of the ship, which what they call forward, at the front of the ship. So at the front of the ship, you feel everything bouncing. And like I said, because we left Port Canaveral late, our captain was making up time, so we were skipping through the waves. We were skipping through the ocean, and I felt everything. And being on a treadmill while the ship is doing this was not a good idea. So I actually had to cut my workout short that morning and go back to my cabin. And thank God I got some Dramamine, because after that, I took the Dramamine. I was like, I was good, so I was ready for the day. Another thing that I would do is, they have dining times. So you have early dining or late dining. I like the early dining. We had dining at 6, because I like that time, because it gave us time to get back from our excursions and get dressed up for dinner, and then we had the rest of the evening. And then I don't like to eat after 8. So that was a good time for me. I would say get dressed up. So we had themes for our cruise. We had an all black night, and we had an all white night. I'm gonna try to put the picture up of our all black and our all white, because we was cute. It really did look good. So shout out to my cousin for that idea. But if you're traveling with a group, like, have themes. What else? I did check my luggage when we boarded the ship because I just didn't want to deal with it. You can carry your luggage with you, but just remember if you don't have prior boarding or faster to the fun or whatever, you're going to have to carry your luggage around with you if you don't check it. I did not check my luggage the night we were getting off of the ship because I was leaving early. So I got off the ship at like 7:30 so I could catch my shuttle and catch the flight. So I had my luggage with me, which was great because I didn't have to wait. Um, so just little tidbits on that. What else? Research the port that you're going to. I would say that research the port that where you're going to stop. The Bahamas did a huge remodel of their port, from my understanding, and it was beautiful. Like it was really beautiful. It was long. Sidebar: get you some good walking shoes, good running shoes, just in case you got to run. I hope you don't have to run, but get you some good walking shoes because the walk from the ship where the ship was docked to the actual port, so down the dock to the port to the vendors, it had to be a good 2 or 3 miles. Like it was a long walk. That day we did like 20,000 steps. So get you some good walking shoes because in Nassau, you get off the ship, you go down the dock, then you go through the port, the where the vendors and everything are, and that's like really long. Then you finally get out to the street to the Bahamas, and then that's another walk. We went to Junkaroo Beach, I think that's what it was, and there have been mixed reviews about Junkaroo. I enjoyed it. It was a 10-minute walk from the port, from once you get outside of the port to Junkaroo, but we got some guys to take us on a boat on around, so it was pretty cool. But I would love to see Nassau more. So I feel like I need another trip to Nassau to experience everything. What else would I do differently? Um, I would still get a balcony room. I got a balcony room, and I'm glad that I did because I love the water. I saw one of the most beautiful sunrises I've ever seen. I love watching the sunrise and I love watching the sunset. I did get to see beautiful sunsets too. Um, but I got a balcony room. The balcony room was a pretty decent size. It's remember you're on a cruise ship, so it is a little tight for 2 people, but you're on a cruise ship, so it's not. It reminded me of a dorm room, like it reminded me of a freshman dorm. It had a little bit of space to it. I'm gonna see if I can stick the video of the room here, but it had some space to it. It was a decent size, but that balcony just added a little bit more depth to it, so it didn't feel confined. I think on my next cruise, I may get a suite just to see what the difference is. And also, I'm aware that it depends on your cruise ship too. So we sailed on an older ship. It's one of the older ships. It's recognizable because it caught fire in twice. So there's an element that's missing from our ship. One thing I will say about the ship, you can tell it's older, even though I've never been on another cruise, but from looking at other cruise ships online, I could tell the difference. And there was something about the ship that I was like, I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this, but then when I said something about it, I was not the only one. It smelled like doo doo. like, like there was a faint smell of doo doo on every floor. And I don't know if it was because it was an older ship. I don't know if it was because the septic system was something was going on with. But yeah, when you walked into the hallway, some days it smelled like straight doo doo. That was not pleasant. So I will say that. Overall, the food was great. Met some amazing people. The staff was amazing. Our room steward, Weedy, awesome sauce. He was awesome. Miss Penny at the bar. Honey, Miss Penny got me right. Okay. Miss Penny could make whatever you want. She made virgin drinks. It was just amazing. Everything tasted so good. The food was good. I'm proud of myself for not overindulging because I got goals. I'm still dropping this weight, but I did good. Guys Burgers, Jesus. I now know If and when I take another cruise on this particular cruise line, I'm going straight to Guy's Burgers. That burger was so freaking good. It was delicious. And the fries. If God himself touched some fries, I'm telling you. And I had one of the best omelets. One of the best omelets on this cruise. Okay? Just good. And the apple juice, now I swear, you can't tell me. And I hope somebody from the cruise line sees this, because if you see this, I just want to commend y'all for your juices. The apple juice tasted like somebody had picked the apple out of the Garden of Eden. And I know the Bible doesn't say it's an apple. Read your Bible. It just says a fig. It's a fruit. It didn't say apple. Read your Bible. If you're going to read your Bible, read your Bible. But it felt like God himself plucked that apple, put it betwixt his hands, and smushed it, got the juice out of it, and put it in the glass. That's how good that apple juice was. It tasted fresh. You can't tell me that these people do not have a juicer on these cruise ships, because every juice I had was delicious and it tasted fresh. The apple juice, the orange juice, the guava. But I will say this, I'm gonna need y'all to learn how to put sugar in your tea. The sugar in the sweet tea and the lemonade, I'm gonna need some sugar in it. But the juice, chef's kiss. Also, I would recommend you get the drink package. Get the drink package. Get the drink package. I ended up getting the drink package when I said I wasn't going to do it, because I wanted one glass of wine, and that glass of wine was expensive. And then they charge you gratuity and tax. Now, that's one thing I did not like about the cruise. I did not like that we were nickeled and dimed about everything. I did not like that. That's why I said I was down at the guest services, because they charged me $100 tip. $100 when I went and got that drink package. I said, oh, no. What you gonna do is take that off, because I ain't tipping them $100 for this. No. And they took it off. But chat, get the drink package. This did affirm for me that I am an all-inclusive kind of girl. You know, I really like being able to go to some place that's all inclusive and not have to worry about nothing. I can just tip. Like, I will go and I would just tip my servers or whomever, my wait staff or whatever. Like, if I get a butler, tip my butler the day that I'm there, and they take care of me the rest of the time. But being nickel and dime for everything, I did not like that. That was not enjoyable for me. No. So get the drink package. Get everything that you think you're not gonna want. Get it before you go on the ship, and watch your bill. So that sign and sale card, they give you a little card like this. And well, not this is my Marriott card, but from one of my stays from somewhere. But they give you a little sign and sale card, and that is your currency. So you have to put a card on file, and they will charge that mug. I sat and watched them charge my card every single time. And at one point I was like, hold on. Like, y'all get a little happy. Let me go down here and see what's going on. And I'm glad I did, because they were charging me gratuities and taxes on stuff. And I'm like, hold on, this is not what y'all doing. So watch your bill, because they will get you. And it's easier to dispute it before you get off the ship versus trying to dispute it when you get off, because basically once you're off the ship, the trip is over. So make sure that you're watching your sign and sale card. If the app works, you can see your account in the app. If the app is not working, make sure you go down to guest services and make friends with the people at guest services. Be kind to them, because they're dealing with everybody that's on this ship. But if you're kind to people, they'll be kind to you. It costs nothing to smile. And I understand that this is money and it's a vacation, but be kind to people. And here's my thing. If you're on vacation, why are you so tense? Chill out. My next thing will be making sure you bring sunscreen. I had 2 different kinds of sunscreen. My dear cousin, who is fair skinned, I don't know why she didn't bring sunscreen, didn't put none on, and her whole face was red. She like a little cherry pop. When we were done, make sure you have sunscreen. Make sure you have, I got this offline, but the walls in your cabin are metal. So get magnets. I had magnets. I ordered some magnets off of that place we're not supposed to be ordering from, but I ordered them anyway because I needed them and I didn't know where else to get them. But I got magnets, and that was the best thing because we were able to hang our lanyards on the magnets instead of putting it down somewhere and trying to find something. You'd be amazed at how stuff can get lost in your room. So got magnets. We were able to hang our swimsuits and hats and things up on those magnets, which was great. Room service. Room service is not included in your cruise, but because things close early, like you have a late night place, buffet place that's open until like 2 a.m, but that was not one of my favorite places. So I did order room service one night because I was so hungry and I wanted a soda, and that was about $15. So room service is not included. I saw this lady doing this in line one afternoon, and I was like, why? I had to ask her. I was like, what are you doing? She had a Ziploc bag, y'all, and this was genius. She had a Ziploc bag. So as she was getting her food to eat, she put food in the Ziploc bag to take back to her room. So she had snacks. She had something to munch on late at night. I was like, that's genius. So next cruise I go on, I will have Ziploc bags. If you see me, don't talk about me, because that would have come in handy if you are coming back from the club on the cruise ship at 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to stand in that line at the buffet and have something that, may have something that you don't want to eat or won't eat or can't eat. And then you can go to your room and have your snacky snack. And also with the drink packages, depending on what you get, like our drink package, we were able to get bottled water and we were able to get sodas. So I would say get you a canned soda and get you a bottle of water, because you do get thirsty at night. Get you a bottle of water, take it back to your cabin, and go back out and enjoy your day. But just have something in your room for you those late nights. So overall, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed my time with my family. I will be doing a cruise again just to get a different experience with maybe not so many people. Not knocking it, because I did have a good time, but I think I want to experience a cruise in a way that I would enjoy a little bit more, so I can explore a little bit more. And I would love to do a cruise with my girlfriends, to be honest. I feel like that would be a time would be had. I feel like we would have we would have some shenanigans going on. So I would love to do a cruise with my sisters as well, because we've been talking about a sister trip for a minute, and I think that would be a good opportunity for us to bond. So yeah, I'll probably be doing a cruise again, and I'll do another review. So again, I'm going to try to add videos and stuff, but I'm not an editor, child. Y'all bear with me, because all of this is new to me. We venturing out in 2025, okay? We're just doing some new stuff. But anyway, if you have questions for me about this cruise, yes, I know this is my first cruise. I'm not an expert cruiser or anything like that, but I will share my experience. And if I have missed anything, if you've been on cruises before and you have some other tips, please share them, because I'm pretty sure we all could use them. Collectively, we're going to get through this life together. All right. So that's it for this episode of the Charging Station Podcast. Thank you again for joining me. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that this has sparked your travel bug. If you are afraid to travel, child, book the trip. Book the ding dang trip. Life is too short. Book the trip. Even if you become a tourist in your own city, go travel, see something new, do something different, especially in this day and age where everything is just so crazy. Go enjoy yourself, all right? Until next time, boo, remember, God loves you. I love you. It ain't nothing you can do about it, baby. Love you guys. Bye.